Hey climbers, and welcome back to the Treehouse. My name's Ree and this is the Tarot Tree, and in today's video we're just going to be doing a part 2 to our sort of walkthrough and kind of first impressions of the Alleyman's Tarot. So yeah, hi again if you're back from part 1. If you were there, you would know that we've made it onto the Alleyman Tarot's kind of own tarot system here with these cards, sort of like their own minor arcanas, going through with these sort of very interesting cards. I feel like personally this could be used more as an oracle deck, because obviously you're going to need the book for reference for the meanings of these cards, but it seems like just by me just glancing at what this one is called, which is the Ace of Hounds, it seems like it could be quite an interesting mix of cards coming up, to be fair, so strap yourself in. It's such a curious deck, I really do love it, and it's kind of interesting to see that maybe this deck could be split into a tarot deck and an oracle deck. Yeah, so we will be discussing that as we go through, but without further ado, let's start. This is the Ace of Hounds, a very sort of haunted looking beast, it has to say. It says the hound is domesticated but still all teeth and nose, a hunter at its core. It says the Ace of Hounds reminds you that you have teeth to bite with and senses that feed your instinct. Wow, okay, very interesting. So we definitely get that, you know, we get some advice here as well, some sort of warnings, so that's interesting. Next we have the Two of Whips. Ooh, a bit kinky. We have something written here, but it doesn't really look like it's readable. Very different energy, monochromatic art again, we're back to, and it says, Volado was a poet, put together this deck of cards for a game. The lesser cards gave way to the worthier cards in his estimation, and the lowest role of all is the fool, whom the world adores. The Two of Whips fills this estimation still. Is someone in a place of little power who wields their whips on anyone they can find to be their lesser. Interesting. So it seems like a lot of these cards may be taken from different sort of card systems, which is pretty cool, and sort of it's concocting this sort of oracle slash kind of curious tarot deck. Very interesting. It is going up numerically, so now we have a 3. This is called the 3 of Books, quite explanatory. I love the energy. This is pretty cool, cool little scene here. We have this, it reminds me of Splinter from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, if you guys are familiar with that, like this sort of rat figure teaching the alphabet to these kind of not too bothered birds, really. It's a very strange card. Interesting. This is cool what the meaning means as well. It says the beasts of our hearts and minds are brutish and cruel, but they don't have to be. The 3 of Books is about teaching your instincts better manners. So that's really cool. We have this sort of domesticated and refined sort of anthropomorphic animal teaching these more bestial animals, you know, how to be civilized. That's cool. That's very interesting. I guess it's sort of that nod to, you know, when we learn these things, when we accumulate wisdom, you know, we can act in better ways. So that's interesting, food for thought, like the sort of like Mozart and the animals there. That's really cool. This is from the Just Ammon deck. That's interesting. Maybe it's a playing card deck, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that one up. It really does intrigue me. Here we have the 4 of Keys. This is about there always being a path forward, apparently. There's always options for movement and actions. That's pretty cool. It says sometimes we worry about the right key for the right door, the right action to get us ahead, but all keys open this door. It's about movement, you know. Just pick a key and go forward, you know. Don't be scared of making mistakes. That's quite an interesting card. I do like that. I like that the 4 is being used for that as well, because we see the 4 used in the traditional tarot a lot of being like a card of standstill in a lot of ways. You know, the Four of Pentacles, quite a stubborn energy. 4 of Cups is like not really, you know, a little bit of despondent energy. 4 of Swords, that sort of healing energy, and even the 4 of Wands is that stopping at a content place. So I like that this is different. It's like move forward, take that action. it doesn't matter what you do, you will move forward. That's pretty cool, but just do something. 5 of Mirrors. Ooh, it's kind of a creepy card, this, I have to say. What is this all about? When I think of mirrors, I think of reflection. We have this sort of cracked heart in the background. She's staring at us doing her makeup like, what, you're looking at me? It says, mirrors are often effing creepy. They tell us lies in the weirdest way, but just showing the truth. But the angles are often wrong. That's not how people look at you. That's not their perception. The card speaks to hidden meanings and intentions, hidden feelings and keeping up appearances. Ooh, I like that. That's a very interesting oracle card. I like that. I love how all the mirrors are cracked. It's like we're not seeing ourselves properly, or we're not seeing a situation for what it is. That's pretty cool. Next up, we have this almost like mushroom energy coming here. This is the 6 of inking balls. Okay, I know all their inking balls. With this nude figure, sort of looks like he's almost, I don't know, is he grabbing this guy, saving him from falling him into the bucket or the well, or is he trying to push him in? Who knows? There's a fool being dunked apparently in a vat of ink. Are we him, or are we the naked lady making it happen? It doesn't matter, we're getting dunked either way, yes, because she'll be going into that ink pot as well. This is about being drowned in your own work, either by choice or by thinking that you have to go ahead anyway. That's really cool. So this is a workaholic card. I think this is good. We need this in the modern age. I really think it's quite interesting. Maybe this is a sort of take on some more sort of archetypes that we're finding in this age, you know, that might not always be fully reflected in the tarot. That's pretty cool. Next we have the 7 of Bells. I like this very traditional looking card. Who do we have on the bottom here? Almost like 2 impish looking fellows in tree stumps. This sort of forlorn looking character made of wood there. Almost looks like it's part of the tree, isn't it? That's really cool. It says, the creatures of the wood would make you one of them. At the chime of the bell, you are being transformed into something you are not, gone solid from the inside out. Your life does not feel like your life anymore. Oh, it's a bit of a crafty kind of fate energy, this one. It's like they've made you into something that you're not. This is to be mindful of this energy in your life. You're not happy where you're at. You might be putting up a facade and you might feel stuck in that. That's really cool. Next up, we have the 8 of Tentacles. Oh, this is quite a creepy card, I have to say. This is about giving yourself over to complete and absolute pleasure. Oh God, tentacles. I'm not even going to go there with that. That is quite erotic, actually. I didn't even realise the pose is, isn't it? Interesting. This is all about embracing those guilty pleasures, apparently. We do need reminders of that in life. We do. Very interesting card. Where's this from? The Pulp Tarot, that's from. I think we've already had a card from that before. Moving on to the 9 of Clocks now. Ooh, we have the Felix the cat. I always found those clocks so creepy because his eyes move, don't they? Oh, if anyone remembers that character. There was a movie to that, wasn't there? Oh, I remember quite liking it as a kid, even though it was weird. I might have to watch that again. I like how we have all the clocks from different ages here, though. That's interesting. Does that bear any mind? It says this card is just a bunch of clocks at different times, that's all. Recognise that all of us do things in our own time and on our own timelines and experiencing the world differently. Okay. Oh, that's cool. I like that. It's very simple. All different clocks from different ages, you know, we're all on a different sort of time scale of things, and that's okay. We need to be alright with that. That's interesting. I like that it's a 9 because sometimes the 9 to me speaks of ends of cycles, even though 10 does, but for me 9 numerologically does. It's pretty cool. 10 of Eyes. I like this one. It's weird because this figure is like almost passed out or relaxing, but all the eyes are wide open in all the different sort of points of their body. Some of them seem like chakra points. Oh yeah, look, it looks like the sun sort of withered this person away and they're in their own sweat actually. That's pretty cool. It says, all those eyes unblinking, roasting in the sun. When we are always looking for things, for trouble especially, we tend to find it. When you can't stop critically observing everything, the very exposure to your own sights will hurt you. It's inevitable. Wow. This is quite deep, this this little oracle system that's been made here, I think, or this tarot system. What do you think? Let me know, guys. I really do like the meanings of some of these cards, it has to be said. That is very true, and you're very analytical, judgmental, you know, these things have a way of draining our own energy. It's really cool. It says there's a difference between being mindful and always trying to know what's going to happen. That's anxiety. That's really cool. I don't know what tarot this for the outsider tarot. I definitely feel like I'll give this one a look as well. Oh gosh, what is this? So now we're on to either these are going to be a kind of court cards or major arcana, I'm not sure, but this is called the Builder, if you can make it out there. Very collagey, very kind of creepy, a bit gothic. It says the builder knows not what it builds. It comes to the builder in dreams, and it maintains this part of the machine, never knowing the purpose. Interesting. It's sort of like a magician, but it seems like it's manifesting, but kind of a bit of a aimless one maybe. Or it says there are so many systems in our world, in our life, systems of oppression, systems that raise others up, the system of a family or a group of friends. You are at work within it, upholding it. The point of this card is to acknowledge your role in these systems far more than it's about a value judgment of the system. But you must realize that you are part of this. Okay, what are you building up? What are you creating? What are you upholding? That's a very interesting question to ponder, isn't it? The Builder. Oh, quite a murky card, that. Very interesting. It was made by the creator of this deck. Oh, the Masterless Knight. Oh, a bit of a run in here we have. Okay. Okay, it says in its home deck, this card was a joker. So this is from just, it says the Caretaker's Normal Tarot. An actor with no master, a wanderer with no set path. This is a wild card to warn you that it is impossible to know this factor. Sometimes you might want to imagine them as standing for another knight of the deck, but the best way to accept this card is to accept that you cannot tell the querent who it is or what they'll do. But that's the very message they must know. Okay, so it's basically like what's going on, who this person in your life is, a mystery, you know, even the universe can't tell you what's going on there. It's pretty cool. I guess you could give it its own meaning, which is pretty cool too. Next up we have the Queen of Bombs. Wow, okay, I love that we have this sort of 1950s housewife kind of advertisement at the back in this image, and then all these bombs, like this is the stuff that was going on at that time, that sort of farcical element, like we're trying to, you know, promote all this family living, particularly in America, but then we're doing some madness outside in the world, you know. So what does this stand for? She stands for life, liberty, and the American way, which is of course bullshit. Oh gosh, sorry, my guys. Stateside. This is what the book is saying, and you know, I was in the UK, can't say much else either. It says the Queen of Bombs is the nuclear wife. Whoa, I love that. We have that idea of the nuclear family, nuclear weapon. That's very interesting. She is the caretaker and supporter of those who got out in the world, and she's a lap you curl up to feel safe. Curl up in to feel safe. I don't know what's happened to my actual comprehension skills today. She will also destroy anything that gets in the way of that. Oh, she is a motherliness. She is motherliness. She is motherliness as considered in the 50s, with the underlying threat of utter annihilation. Oh, this is a sassy queen. Okay, not even a sassy queen, just, you know, a psychotic one that I think, you know, some who may have grown up with mothers from this era, you know, might be well aware of. That's interesting. Oh, she's a bit foreboding, isn't it? Because she's even got that on her face, like she's not who she makes out to be if you don't follow suit. And that was made by the creator here as well. Very good job. Father Sleep, another one made by the creator of this deck, or the curator of this deck, I guess. Father Sleep knows when things are coming and when things are going. That's an important thing to know about, you know. Father Sleep comes up when there is something you need to recognize as ending. It's bedtime for this relationship, or it's time to let go of that project. So a bit like a world card in some aspects. That's pretty cool. Accept that it's coming to an end. I like that. Next up we have the Fountain. Oh, this is a really beautiful card. I love the inlay there, the metallic inlay. It says, cool relief, you drink from these waters and are revived. This is a quenching a long dried throat, feeding that thirst. This is relief from your pain and having a place to sit a while and bask in what it is that you needed. Okay, this is a healing card. I get that. We get that water energy can be healing. Fountains, they're always, fountains of youth, we have a lot of that in different, across cultures, different kind of lore and stuff, find the fountain, get this sort of healing elixir or eternal life, the healing waters. I like that. It's very cool. Reminds me of a game called Jersey Devil that used to be on the PlayStation 1, if anyone remembers that. Showing my age. We have the white and black candle. So this is a two-sided card for those of you to see it. Go back to that side. So it's meant to be 2 cards, but he's put it on 1 card as a front and back. Okay, it's intended, it's made from a certain deck, which is the Satanic Tarot, and you're meant to put each of these cards at either side, either end of the deck apparently, or the reading when it's done. I guess it's just to imply ritual. That's what it says. So it's almost like we're giving you your actual candles on the cards of the deck, rather than maybe you having to kind of light up the candles. And it doesn't have to be magical, it says. It's about paying mind to the things we need to do in life ritualistically, how can that help us, and recognize them. How do they affect you? These are the questions that this card's meant to bring up for us. So that's pretty cool. Interesting one to ponder. We have the Wild Hunt next. Oh, we have these clowns. We have this sort of, he reminds me of the guy from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Do you remember him? He creeped me out because he was almost a bit like you couldn't tell whether he was good or bad. Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't know what his name is. I don't know if he's like part of the sort of gypsies. What was his name? But he sings a lot in it. Either way, always get a bit of a Pied Piper energy as well from here, because they're sort of looking up and following him. It says, Arlecchino disguised as King Hurler, the leader of the Wild Hunt. This is a frenetic and outright demonic parade which leads those who are roped up into it to elsewhere. Okay, like stolen to the fairyland. Yeah, we do get that sort of Pied Piper energy. I was right there. It says, a trail of sickness follows the hunt on their journey, and if you are smart, you will see the warning signs that the Wild Hunt is a final run. You see the call of the void and want to chase after it. There's a certain finality in it, but it's dark and ends poorly. Do not follow. So this is another kind of card that's telling you to be mindful about where you might be, heading, I guess. That's pretty cool. Next up, we have a Joker card. Oh, what a beautiful Joker card. Wow, this sort of mermaid, siren, water nymph. Wow, that's really beautiful. This is from the Arcadia playing cards set. That's pretty cool. It says, if you're the kind of reader who can read smoothly, even among cards that you are unfamiliar with, you'll understand the usefulness of a wild card in your reading that acts as a bridge between the cards around it. Okay. Basically, this card is meant to mean whatever you want to make it, okay? Especially if you're an intuitive reader. So that's interesting. It is cool to have wild cards thrown in. Some of us might not appreciate that because we do like a system. We do like something to draw upon. But I know a lot of us are quite intuitive readers. I get a lot of healing energy off of this, actually. Sometimes with mermaid or nymph or siren energy, I get kind of menacing energy. But not with this one. I mean, we could say she's trying to seduce us with her song and all of that, but I don't get that from her. I guess especially with the moon there too, but I'm just seeing that more as the feminine energy in this card, so that's pretty cool. Next up, we have Payman, King of Subjugation. Whew, it's a bit foreboding, that, isn't it? She's got those white eyes. They always creep me out when people don't have pupils. This is from the Goetia deck of Kings. It says, the King of Subjugation is exactly as you would believe him to be. He subjugates, it's what he does. The only question here is whether you are the subjugator or the subjugated. Oh, okay, so it's sort of like a more of a kind of dark side of the Emperor we've got here. Like, you need to pose the question, am I being controlled? Am I controlling people? What is my role in this? Why has this card come up for me? That's interesting. Again, there's a bit of devil energy from this as well with all these attachments. So that's a pretty cool card. Just fusing 2 tarot card meanings in a way, I think. Okay, it's very different. I'm half expecting a Pokemon card to turn up here. That's so funny. Giuseppe. What is this creature? This is so weird. It's like a table with a slab of butter with eyes put in it and a party hat. Okay, it says draw 3 cards from anywhere. If they do not bring you happiness, put them back where you found them and draw 3 more. You may repeat this as many times as you like. Okay, so this is from a game. This is for hypothetical cards, okay? He thought this was one of those Pokemons. But I found it was something much better. Giuseppe represents the blooming of possibility and friendship. If this game actually has rules, this card will let you draw an infinite number of cards if you were disappointed. Okay. It says when he draws it that you get more, he'll do 3 more cards. That's so cool. So I guess it's more of a happy card. It's meant to be a good omen. Maybe being a little bit disillusioned as well. That's kind of cool. The Dark Sun, very different energy. You could just about make out that figure there. It reminds me of, hear me just like literally saying all the references to everything I've ever watched. I forgot his name though. Ryuk. The one from the note. Oh my god, what is that really famous anime called that they ruined making live action? Oh my goodness, you know the one I mean, with Light Yagami and this is the sort of I don't know what he is. Is he a god of death or something that's like looking after him because he's found the diary, and when he writes people's names in it, you know, he can make them die of a heart attack. It sounds so macabre and I can't believe I forgot what it's called, but I will put it up here. It reminds me of that guy. Anyway, back to the meaning, the Dark Sun. I always it might be a bit jarring for some people, but I always like when cards and figures in cards remind me of characters, because it gives me another layer to the meaning of what that card's meant to kind of be telling me, I think. So that's why I pay attention to it. He was quite an interesting character. It almost looks like we have a bridge here and another figure, which is kind of cool. Anyway, it says the Dark Sun is that time when we focus on the pain and loss we have faced in our lives and do not let it go. We bask in the dark sorrow. Lean on it as if it was a good memory at the core of our identity. Wow, okay. So this is ruminating energy. It's really interesting, it's the Dark Sun, because you look at it as though these sort of negative kind of memories and pain and traumas are blocking out the sun. Or like it says, like you're making them too much a part of your identity and almost sentimentalizing them to a degree, even though that kind of doesn't make sense because you think of that as making things happy. But a dark sun, you know, is a sun nonetheless, but it's kind of hazy, and it's pretty cool. It's about grief, mourning, or acceptance of pain. It says it's not always a bad card. Sometimes it just lets us know where we're at and what we're doing, and to give us the space to kind of grieve that. So a bit like a Three of Swords moment, a bit like a death card sometimes as well, we've got with this one, I think. That's really cool. That's really interesting. I do like the energy off of that, even though it's a quite dark card. We have the Black Moon next, with this strange bunny or hare creature like walking on these peg legs, which is kind of weird. What's this one about? It says, the first hesitant steps on a dark night, dashing into potential danger. This is perhaps done out of curiosity, perhaps out of fear, but it's always done because someone must run into the night, so why not you? Do you venture towards danger out of curiosity or to light the way for others? The brave rabbit who steps first from safety ensures the survival of his family. Run, rabbit, run. Wow, okay. So it is about taking that leap of faith, but not quite in the same way that a fool does, because this rabbit is well aware that they could be going into danger, but they're having to make that movement anyway. That's interesting. It's a bit of a more grown-up fool, that one. Ooh. 5, the bogeyman. That's interesting that we're using 5, the Hierophant's number, isn't it? It says, he who waits in the dark to horrify. The bogeyman isn't real, and that's the only important takeaway for this card. Your fears are temporary, and even if you fail, it won't be as bad as this. That's cool. It says there's a ring of light behind the horror, so see things for what they are. The bogeyman is just a figment of people's imagination. These fears are not real. They can't hurt you. It's temporary. It's meant to encourage you to get through them. That's pretty cool. So it's not as foreboding as it seems. And this is for Blood and Rust, the Misery Tarot. Interesting. Next up we have Fear. Okay, we have a card for fear itself. 22. Okay. The end of the road. This was made by this creator of the deck again. It said, where the bogeyman is the horror stories we tell our children to seed anxiety. Furthermore, fear is real. Fear is the recognition that terror, anxiety and trauma are real parts of our minds. This is not something you can explain away. It's something you must work around while accepting it's not going away. Okay. It's about having place for this fear here, knowing that it's there, accepting it, and seeing it as something that's actually quite a healthy part of life, which is interesting because it's keeping us going apparently. I like that. It is quite macabre, that though. Ooh, creepy. The hole. This is about the feeling of what's missing, you know. I guess that's kind of quite self-explanatory, the hole, you know. There's an emptiness there when we look at that sort of notion of a hole, like what is missing, you know. It could also be about something that's a mystery in your life and wanting to solve that. That's pretty cool. It gives reverse meanings as well, but we'll be here all day if I did those. But yeah, the Hawk Moth, number 2. This is for the Lepidoptera Tarot, which I'm fairly sure is a sort of name that's the study for butterflies and stuff, right? It says these are perfect death cards. Yeah, we get Death Moth, don't we? Because he's got that skull on it, doesn't it? This is about cycles coming to an end and you preparing for the next step, but you're not certain where it's going to go. This is about the change from uncertainty into hope. That's pretty cool again. So it's like, again, it's like the Death card or the kind of World card, I guess. Some of them have quite similar meanings to tarot. This is the Letter. It's like we're going into Lenormand energy here, yeah. This is for the Enchanted Woods Lenormand. So this is pretty cool artwork though. I like the colour combo, it's pretty cool. It says this, yeah, this is about communication. That's it, basically. Sharing your thoughts, your meanings, your intentions, and putting that into words. It's talking about what you need to speak to in terms of your communication with others, you know. That's pretty cool. I like it. It's very beautiful energy. Ooh, the backs are pretty cool too. Wound Man. Oh wow, he's taking it left, right and centre here, isn't he? My goodness. It says the Wound Man has historical significance across art history. Dudes are always getting hurt. This card is about pain, suffering and injury, most specifically, physically or mentally. You suffer under an injury that was dealt to you. Okay. So this is a bit more of, again, it is a card about pain, but not quite fear. This is actual like injury, like things that have happened to us, you know, and taking stock of that. That's pretty cool. Next up we have the Comforter. She looks a bit cold for a comforting person to me. I don't know if you guys are getting that, or maybe she's just quite peaceful and serene. She's in one of those sort of peacock chairs. She's got this bunny, but I don't get too warm energy off her, I have to be honest, which is kind of weird. Basically, it says it speaks to that sort of energy, whether you're going to be that figure or figure in your life who's going to be that shoulder to cry on, who's going to give you that comfort. It says represents being that warmth and comfort for another. The only question is whether it is you or another for you. That's it, basically. So it comes up a bit like how a court card be read. Are you reading for someone else's energy or for your own? But it's all about that comforting energy. As for the Witches, Compendium of Witches Tarot. Oh, wow. There's a... yes, I like that lady's artwork. She has a very interesting oracle that I've been interested in for a while, actually. This is called The Lone and Level Sands. Is this made from a poem? It says, this poet wrote this poem about a man with too much hubris. You might know it, it doesn't matter. Just look at that face of stone in the sand. That's you and your lofty self-ideals. Your certainty that if you set it in stone, your achievements will last forever. Take a guess what that sand will do to it as time goes on. You get the idea. It says this card is about an ending, you know, and defeats. And it talks about being fallible and being humbled. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like that. That's a good card to have in there. Ooh, this is very different. So we have Gagas. Very interesting card. I like all the kind of runic writing on it. Day, awakening, illumination, hope. Because this is about dawn coming. So a new kind of day, I guess. It is about being hopeful. It says, God, this feels a bit funny to do. Since the card has meanings written on it and stuff, I'm going to use this spot to shout out the people working on it for fighting to take back runes and traditions that use them from nationalists and white supremacists. It's about taking your culture back. Okay, that's really interesting. And trying to get back to what they really mean. It's about being hopeful. And it's about a best case scenario. That's pretty cool. That's for Snowflake rune cards. I'm not familiar with what rune meanings are, so I don't know what Gagas, if that is what Gagas means, if that's what that rune is, but let me know if you are. This card is misery, so I guess it's kind of self-explanatory. We get that sort of left out in the cold energy here, a bit like the Five of Pentacles. It's kind of like the full-grown old of this dog rather than helping him on, is sort of like biting onto him, I guess, like he's found some troubles in his life. It seems like it's meant to be quite a hard hitting card in terms of that, and kind of being aware that we do go through these things in life, we do go through misery in life. It's pretty cool. Next up we have Tesperance, or Lesperance. Hope, another hope card. It is a mix of light and dark, this, I have to say. That's pretty cool. So it's about being in dire situations. I like how this comes out of after the misery card. It says hope is an important element of a struggle. It gives you a reason to keep going. And it looks like she's sort of in dire straits because she's been in the water, but she's found this tiny bit of land here. She's got the anchor with her, and she's keeping her head up, which you have to do, you know, if you want to survive. That's part of life. So good reminders. Weird ass mystical shit. That's definitely what this this image is giving us. Very much giving us that energy, really, isn't it? Oh my god. Oh, this is about facing the unknowable, you know. This could be about something that's like literally magic or supernatural. But it's more about the unknown. That's what this card is about. And that not everything is meant to be known to us. So this is another sort of mystery, accept the mysteries in life cards, basically. Okay, interesting. Next up we have the Tradition. It's a very beautiful collage deck, this. I like this. A lot of different symbols here. This is made by the creator again, who says they're actually pretty obsessed with religions and traditions. So we've got a few going on here. That's really cool. It says tradition matters because it's human history. It can be stifling, but even the most ancient of traditions have grown and changed over time because humans grow and change. So I guess this card's about changing our relationship with tradition. I guess the Hierophant sort of brings that up to us sometimes, but it can maybe speak more to the kind of stifling aspects of that. But to recognise that tradition is about our connections to our vast human history, and doing things the old way by our ancestors' way is not always given into conservatism. You know, there's a space for ritual, you know, there's reasons why we still kind of keep these practices going that can be actually very helpful for us, you know, making sense of the chaotic, you know, something we've always done as humans. Otherwise we wouldn't have culture, would we? Wouldn't have felt the need to make it. So that's interesting, giving you a different kind of spin on tradition, taken away from the more negative connotations. Next we have Frost. What's this all about? It says Frost is about memory, the way we wait and look back and all the details are gone now, just a plain sheet of what you remember most. Sometimes this is kind, sometimes it takes away the harshness of something and helps you move on, and other times you're just left with what you thought you escaped from. That's interesting. It says, be thankful that frost softens the past, but be wary it does not blind you to the present. So it can be taken either way. This is about our relationship to sort of maybe nostalgia, memories, what we're holding on to, kind of how do we kind of look back at things. A bit like the Six of Cups to a degree. That's interesting. Deconsecration. Ooh, very big word. I like the artwork in this. It reminds me a little bit of the is it the Night Goddess? Oh gosh, me trying to remember tarot decks names today is going awfully, isn't it? Either way, I do really like this. I like this art. This is from the Winslow Domain. This is from the Tarot Restless. That's going to be another one I'm going to have to look up. Apparently this is about acknowledging those things that have been done to us, that have caused difficulty in our lives, that have caused pain, and reclaiming it as our own. That's pretty cool. Like, where have parts of us be deconsecrated? Like, we have to take ownership of that, take that responsibility, and try and recognize how we can heal. That's pretty cool. I like that. Next up we have the Battle, which seems to be attributed to the water element and the Cancer zodiac sign. We have a bunny rabbit. We have a wolf with a dagger through his eye. The bunny's like, yo, I got this. Doesn't look too scared. He's staring that wolf in the eye. That's pretty cool. This is for the Strange and Eternal Tarot, and apparently this is used for the Chariot, which, yeah, is a card that we attribute to the Cancer sign. That's pretty interesting. This is about the glory of battle itself. That's pretty cool. The blood, the earnings and the wounds, the uncertainty of your win, but the certainty that you must. This is the height of rushing into the thick of the fight, hungry for affirmation, the blood of those who have chosen to be your enemies. You are headstrong in this. This is about, you have to go into the battle and the chaos of the battle, not to win or lose, but to get past, you know, your sort of weaknesses, I guess, to make yourself stronger, apparently. So that's an interesting Chariot card. Pretty cool. So this is very like just a bone floating in space. Very striking the way this is set up. This it's got words all over it. That's pretty cool. Straight cutlass fire. Straight cutlass of fire. The late sun hung vigorous with bees in its motionless yellow suit. A blinding. Okay, so it's some sort of passage or poem right put there. That's pretty cool. Apparently this is a very specific meaning. This card is called Bonefire, and the artist said, Bonefire is about looking into your eyes in a mirror for at least 29 seconds every day. The Bonefire is a card to tell readers to burn away that which keeps one from oneself. It's about stepping into the bare bones of things, your authenticity. Can you look yourself in the eye and know that you are aligned, know that you are acting in your higher good, know that you're being your true self. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Oh, and next up we have the Night Owl. Put it this way so we can see it a little bit. Oh, that's a bit foreboding, that. I don't know, does anyone else have issues with that? I don't like when cards are the other way around in decks. I think the Muse Tarot has that, and that's what put me off getting it. It jars me. Let me have it this way. But I know it can make more you know, better use of the space for the card, etc. But it is an issue for me, I have to be honest. This is about things we already know but won't or can't admit to ourselves. That's pretty cool. This is about confronting the truth that we're hiding from. That's really cool. And by doing that, you know, we're accumulating that wisdom, and we will go on to better things. That's pretty cool. Next up we have the Undaunted. Ooh, another shiny card. I very much like this. These peacock feathers, what's going on here? We have this sort of blood moon covered in the background almost. Are we in water here? We have a date, the 13th of the 1241. What is going on? Apparently it's a photograph. Okay, yeah, I can see that. It's like someone's taken a Polaroid and it's of a strange fey beastie. That's pretty cool. This is about living as yourself in complete power, unafraid. There is a rawness here that is humbling to behold, but be careful. Being unabashedly yourself can often lead you to disregard other viewpoints, other people entirely. So it's about determination, confidence, rebellion. That's pretty cool. Like that. Next up we have the Empty, which is a very empty looking card, isn't it? A bit like the ball from Pong, that old game. This is about newness and rawness, but kind of in a quiet, dignified manner. It's waiting for any influence to change and grow. It says this often relates to children. Blank opportunities are what you make them, apparently. So a bit of tabula rasa here. This is about new beginnings, okay, starting again, writing your story again. That's pretty cool. Next up we have Traitor, is this? We have the Traitor, yeah. Basically speaks for itself. This is speaking to sort of Judas character. I think that's who that's meant to be in there. Who's gonna backstab you? Are you backstabbing someone else? That's pretty cool. Pretty self-explanatory. Next up we have the Performer. Yeah, he's very sassy, you know. He looks like he's here, like here to play a tune on his fiddle, enjoying life, very colourful. Apparently this, yeah, I guess the name's quite self-explanatory. The Performer is like someone's lying wearing a mask, but not necessarily maliciously, because it's, you know, they're there putting on a show for you. But it's about recognising those masks that we see in others and ourselves. So it's a pretty cool card. It's cerebral, really. The Thing Among Reflections. Ooh, look at them in the mirror. They're a bit creepy, aren't they? She looks quite scary herself, to be fair, though. Apparently this card is about disconnection. It's about being disconnected from yourself. Could be a bit about anxiety, not seeing things clearly. That's pretty cool. And a bit of disassociation and separation. So this is speaking more to a bit of like mental health, which is quite interesting. And I like how it's got that, the thing, like not me among reflections, the thing. What is that? That separation. So that's interesting. That's sort of more of a modern look on things, because I see the tarot as a tool that can be used very therapeutically for our mental health, actually, whether you're spiritual or not. If you look into the tarot even purely for its archetypal energy, or, you know, that it speaks to human nature, it speaks to a lot of things that we go through psychologically as well as spiritually, it can be very helpful. So that's really cool to have that sort of update. It'd be cool if someone made a tarot deck that was for that reason, like that was bringing in a lot of these newer sort of discoveries of for like kind of psychological struggles and challenges we may face. That would be pretty interesting. And the last card, this is weird. What is it, an eye? It's just called the Final Tarot card. Apparently this is by the creator again, but they think they made it in a dream. That's pretty weird. Oh gosh. This is about there being answers ahead, the ending of things. Apparently it's also meant to be sort of an indicator card if you use this. Obviously this deck has some sort of kind of systems and ways of using it. So you can use it as that as well. It's like if it comes and you can just end the reading there, not worry about what's coming after it, apparently. So yeah, it's got two sides. So that's sort of just a, I don't know, novelty card per se, but yeah, it means endings. There we have it, guys. That is it all, the whole deck we've been through. But if you remember rightly, or I remember rightly, we had a booster pack, didn't we, to open? So let me try and grab that and let's see what extra cards we got. Let's have a look. So I'm back, guys, found them. I was like, they did a little bit of a walkabout, it seemed. But yeah, okay, so this is the booster pack number 4. So 7 more tarot cards, because if we don't have enough already. Let's have a look and see what we got. At the back of the book, it kind of has meanings for all of these extra booster packs, depending on which ones you get. So that's pretty cool. So first up, what have we got? Oh, she's beautiful. Oh, I'm happy with this first card so far. Let's see, we're in frame. We have the Queen of Ravens. Wow, for me, I'm reading this almost straight away as an alternative for the Queen of Swords. What do you guys think? She looks like she's really tuning into the message that that raven is telling her, right? It's pretty cool. It says she is the queen of the murder, leader of the wings. I love that, you know, a kind of group of ravens is called a murder. It's so crazy. It threw me when I learned that when I was a child. Oh my goodness. It says she remembers what evils you have done and the good as well. She will reward you for the latter and punish you for the former. So there's a bit of a judgment kind of element to her, which is quite interesting. She's just a scale. You get what you put in return. She can feel difficult to deal with sometimes or tense. And that's not evil, it's just clear. That's pretty cool. I like that. So she has got that sort of Queen of Swords energy to a degree, but a bit of a fusion there with the Judgment card and the Justice card. Actually, could be Judgment as well. No, Justice, I would say Justice. So these are all made by the creator, by the way. So I have no idea what this is, but we have this little figure. We have like an eye or something here, an 8, sort of infinity. I'm getting some Matrix vibes from this. Put your guesses in now, guys, for what you think this is going to mean, because I have absolutely no idea. Let's have a look if we can find it. Can we find it? Some of these cards are like look really beautiful. Oh gosh, look, some booster cards. We have my favorite, the Blood Moon Tarot, for anyone that's been here a while. That's really cool. Be funny if I get some of those. What does this 8 mean? I don't know what it means. Where are you? Can't find it. Oh my god, it's right here after as well. Maybe I'm going to get all of these in order now, so let's see. So we have the Ouroboros, obviously, the snake energy. It does remind me a bit of that game on the old Nokia's 3310s, the snake game. They need to bring that back in its original form. It is so fun, so simple. It says, too often people think about the Ouroboros as being infinite and totally miss that it's just eating itself. It is like Snake. Yeah, it makes me think of the game Snake, for sure. Here it's not about, this card's not meant to mean infinity, it's about collision. It's colliding with your own overblown ambition and eating yourself whole. This is what you get for reaching too far, single-minded and ignoring all warnings. It says it's also a solid symbol of the rich who take more and more just because it's there and they can take it. Okay, we've got a little bit of a social justice message going through with this deck, with this creator, and I'm all here for it. So that's cool. It's not about infinity, it's about colliding with your own ambitions and, you know, eating yourself whole. Interesting. Next up, we have the Storyteller. Oh, he's creepy. He's like that guy in Hercules who opens his jacket and tries to sell people sundials. Is that his jacket he's opening, or is it a map? You know, it's not even his jacket, is it? Wow. Okay. It says, consider this a self-portrait of sorts. That's interesting. It says, we seek people to tell us stories about ourselves all the time. We want to be understood by others, but also recognized for what we've done and accomplished. Readers do that. This card is as much about stories as it is the teller. How stories are the refuse of our lives, the distilled form of life grown off of it. Stories cannot tell the whole truth, but they can tell a truth, and we thrive off them like bugs and fungus on shit. It's interesting because this card is about kind of us reflecting on stories, you know, and that they're not necessarily the truth of what happened, but a reminder of what was left after the story truly occurred. They're important to us all, but they are secondary to the action of doing that story. So that's interesting. It's an interesting card to help us ponder our relationship with stories and kind of maybe make more action in life to create those stories, or how much we're reliant on those stories. Next up, we have the Queen of Strays. Again, it seems I'm getting all the cat lovers card, even though I'm probably more of a dog person, to be fair. Apparently she is the mother, the Queen of Strays is the mother of children vast and different. She's a sign that you should lean on your found family, that you should support others in your community who need you. No person is unwanted. You deserve to be loved, and so do the others in your life. That's really sweet. That's an interesting take, you know. That's really interesting. I like that. Next up we have the Publishing Goblin, which is, oh no, we don't have that. Yes, we do. Here it is. It's flipped around. The Publishing Goblin. Met this thing somewhere else. Hard to explain, so I won't. What I can say is that it creates and it creates. So yeah, this is about creating, apparently, this card. Life is too short to worry about things. It says, life is too short to worry about making things to survive. Make things to live instead. Embrace that creativity and just do it. Just go for it. I like that. This one we've got to now is called the Alley. So these are coming in terms of like the tarot, I guess, because we have the Publishing Goblin, which is the name of the house that's created it, and this is the Alley for the Alleyman's tarot. It said this is a personal one. This is by the artist. He said, I spend most of my time in alleys in various places at various times, in various other places, literal world hopping. Alleys are so homely. It's where people pass on secret shortcuts. It's where side entrances are to most anywhere. It's where you go to hide, to sleep. It's where the trash accumulates. It's all the unintended mistakes and side effects of having a society. That's pretty cool. It's about community, apparently, as well. A place where thing and everything belongs if there's nowhere else to be or go. That's about finding a place. That's pretty cool. There's always a route and a back door to something when we're in an alley, right? It's always a way to get somewhere else. Lightning in a bottle. It says this card is about those things in life that just come at the right time, at the right place. You know, there's sort of divine interventions, like lightning in a bottle. It's like you can't make it happen, but when it happens, you know, we gotta run with it, basically. Like lightning doesn't strike twice. That's pretty cool. And next up, oh, there's two of them. Oh, this one's cool. This is probably my favorite of the two. Is it? No, I like them both. They're both pretty cool, to be fair. Let's go back to the one we haven't seen properly. It's a slightly different meaning for this one, okay? They got the same name, but they got a different meaning. It says manufactured success is actually way more common than you might think. This is planned obsolescence on modern technology. This is packaged and produced pop stars who are built by a team to be perfect and palatable. It works and it's often as incredible as the raw and natural version of it, but it's a distinction, isn't it? Where people can control how things grow and get big, there is a well-founded fear of what will be left for us to enjoy when only what's considered safe and sales-worthy makes it. This is your reminder to fuck up the supply line sometimes, open a bottle and slip something weird in there. This factory line doesn't replace what we can make on our own with heart and determination. They work together. That's pretty cool. I like that. He's definitely a bit of a freedom fighter, I would say, the creator of this deck. And that's it. That's all the cards from that booster pack, guys. So, yes, that is our very chunky monkey Alleyman's tarot. Let's get it all together now. Oh, wow. My goodness. What did you think of it, guys? Have you guys got this? I'm not sure if you can buy it now, if they've opened it like to orders outside of Kickstarter and pre-orders at the time of it being published. But yeah, do let me know if you have it, if you're interested in it, if there are any cards that really spoke to you. Yeah, basically I'm going to be using it, like I said, as a one draw from the original, I would say the major through to the minor, and I do feel like I will split the deck and use the other part as an oracle potentially. But I feel like I'll try and start with the tarot first with this. Actually, having said that, no, I don't know what I'm going to start with first, in all honesty. But I will be split this deck. I feel like that will make it easier to use and make workable. And like I said in part 1, I do want this to be a workable deck, not just a novelty deck. You know, that's why I bought it, because it intrigued me, and I feel like the book in particular has a lot to offer in terms of, you know, the meanings, what's been written. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. that's the cover. So a little look while we're at the end, why not, if we can get it in frame. It's sort of done like a ring binder journal, if you can kind of see. Pretty cool. And that's all of the index, etc. It's pretty cool. And we even have at the beginning, do we have at the beginning? I'm sure we had some ways to use this deck. Have I just made that up in my mind? Here are the extra cards I think that you could get at certain points. Here we go. The spreads and stuff come after. So as you can see, it doesn't really leave you in the lurch. It's called the Alleyman Suggestions, this part of the book. So yeah, you're not really left in the lurch. As I said, we've got spreads here, how to use the deck, how to make use of it. Yeah, how to have fun with it apparently as well. It doesn't all need to be that deep apparently. So yeah, some new kind of originals going through there. So yeah guys, it's a really lovely little project. Little, I don't know why I called it that. It's a really lovely project, a big project really, to be fair. And do let me know, because it seems like you know, my friends in America, you guys would have got this deck before us here in the UK. Just that's how it works a lot, doesn't it? You know, the country of origin, they can get it shipped out quicker. So let me know if you made use of it, if you have this deck, and how you use it. I really would like to know, because it might give me some ideas of how else I could use this deck. But yeah, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, you know. Feel free to join the Treehouse, you know, and subscribe. It's always nice to have new faces here. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.